Okay, today we are going to start the triangle proportionality theorem. It states that if a line is parallel to one side of a triangle and intersects the other two sides, then it divides the sides into segments of proportional lengths. So what it's saying is if line DE is parallel to line AC, which is shown on the diagram, then BD, this piece right here, over DA is equal to or proportional to BE over EC. Okay, so again, if these two lines are proportional, the segments that the parallel line breaks it into, BD and DA, is proportional to BE to EC. Okay, now the converse of that is also true. So the converse of the triangle proportionality theorem states that if BD over DA is equal to BE over EC, then the lines DE and AC are parallel to each other. Okay, so it works both ways. If we know the two segments are proportional to each other, then we know the lines are parallel. If we know the two lines are parallel, then we know the segments that the parallel lines break the triangle into are proportional. Okay, so we're going to now use these theorems to find different pieces of our triangle. So the first part says find the value of x. Since these two lines are parallel to each other, I know the ratio of these two segments is going to be equal to the ratio of these two segments. Now remember, there's multiple different ways to set this up, but you do need to make sure that you have your corresponding pieces aligned with each other. So 14 over 12 is going to be equal to x over 15. Okay, so we've been doing a lot of this unit. We are just going to cross multiply. So 12 times x is 12x, and 14 times 15 is 210. And then we're just going to divide both sides by 12. And we get x is equal to 17.5. So we're really just working more with solving proportions. Okay, the next one. These two lines are parallel, therefore the ratio of these two segments compared to the ratio of these two segments are proportional. Okay, so I'm going to do 18 over x is equal to 21 over 56. So I have a proportion here, so we need to cross multiply to solve for x. So 21 times x is 21x, 18 times 56 is 1008. So then I need x by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by 21, and I get x is equal to 48. Okay. So now on this next one we have to be kind of careful because it's no longer giving me each piece of the side that's being divided by one of the parallel lines, but it's giving me the whole side length and then one of the other side lengths. So I have to first find the value of just this piece. So if the whole line is 55 and this piece is 44, this has to be 10. Now I can set up a proportion because I know these two lines are parallel. So I'm going to do 36 over x is equal to 45 over 10. Now, again, like I said at the beginning, you could set up these proportions in multiple different ways. I could flip these fractions and do x over 36 is equal to 10 over 45. I could put this fraction first and then this fraction second. Just make sure that the 36 and the 45, those are both the bottom parts of the sides of the triangle, and then the x and the 10 are both the top parts that are forming that top angle, okay? So we're going to cross multiply. X times 45 is 45x, and 36 times 10 is 360. So then we're going to divide both sides by 45, and we get x equals 8. Okay. This one's similar to the last one we did. It's not giving me each piece, it's giving me one piece of the side of the triangle and then the whole length. So I need to figure out what this piece is. So I'm going to do 27 minus 6 is 21. So this segment is 21. Okay, I can set up a proportion because these two lines are parallel to each other. So I'm going to do 7 over x is equal to 6 over 21. And then we're going to cross multiply. 6 times x is 6x. 7 times 21 is 147. And then we are going to divide both sides by 6 to get x by itself. And we get x is 24. So those are easier proportions to solve because we don't have multiple terms on any of my segments. Now we have this segment being 2 terms, so we're going to have to make sure that we are careful. Okay, so I can set up a proportion because these two lines are parallel to each other. So I am going to say that x plus 7 over 30 is equal to 15 over 25. Now, when I cross multiply here, when I multiply these together, I need to make sure I'm not just multiplying the 25 by the x. I need to do 25 times x plus 7. And then I'm going to do my 30 times 15, which is 450. And then I need to distribute my 25. And I get 25x plus 175 equals 450. So then I need to solve this for x. I'm going to subtract 175 on both sides. And I get 25x equals 275. So then I divide both sides by 25. And we get x is 11. So that one was a little bit longer. So what I would do is I would check this. Okay, so we can substitute our x value back into our original proportion. So 11 plus 7 divided by 30. And we get 0.6. And then 15 divided by 25. And we also get 0.6. So we found the correct x value. Okay. Next one. I can set up a proportion because these two segments, these two lines, are parallel to each other. So I'm going to do x minus 1 over 3x plus 1 equals 6 over 21. So I need to cross multiply. So this is 21 times x minus 1 equals 6 times 3x plus 1. Again, make sure when you have multiple terms in the numerator or denominator, when you're cross multiplying, those terms need to go in parentheses. Okay, so let's distribute, and we get 21x minus 21 equals 18x plus 6. I'm going to move my x's to the left, so that's going to be 3x. I'm going to move my minus 21 over here, so I get 27, and then divide both by 3, and we get x is 9. Okay, so I can check this again in my calculator. 9 minus 1 is 8, divided by 3 times 9 is 27, plus 1 is 28, and then 6 over 21. And they give me the same decimals, so we are correct. Okay. So we are doing just more of the same practice right now. Okay. So now it says determine if MN is parallel to JL. So what we're going to do to determine if these two lines are parallel is we're going to see if the ratio of the sides are proportional. So I'm going to do 15.4 over 11. Is that equal to 14 over 10? So 15.4 divided by 11, is that equal to 14 over 10? And they are equal to each other. So yes, they are parallel to each other. Because again, if the ratio of the pairs of sides are proportional, then the lines are parallel. Okay, next one. We are doing the same thing, so I'm going to do 5 over 18. Is that equal to 4 over 15? 5 over 18, 4 over 15. They're pretty similar, but they're not the same. So no, these are not equal to each other, meaning the lines then cannot be parallel to each other. Okay, so we need to figure out what this segment JM is because it's not labeled. We have the total is 54 and MK is 24. So we know then that JM is 30. Okay. So I'm going to do 30 over 24. Is that equal to 37.5 over 30? And yes, they're equal to each other, therefore my two lines are parallel. Okay? So now we are going to move on to parallel lines and proportional parts. It says if 3 or more parallel lines intersect two transversals, so here are my 1, 2, 3 parallel lines intersecting my two transversals, then they cut off the transversals proportionally. So that means if AB is parallel to CD, which is parallel to EF. Then AC over CE is going to be equal to BD over DF. Okay? So we're just going to use this to help us figure out different values. So we're going to solve for x. So since these three lines are parallel, again, they have to be marked that they're parallel. We can't just assume that they're parallel. But these three lines are marked parallel. So I know 45 over 18 is going to be proportional to 52 over x. So another proportion that we are just cross multiplying. So 45x equals 18 times 52, which is 936. And then I divide both sides by 45. And I get x equals 20.8. And just like I did on a couple of the last ones, you can check yourself. So 45 over 18, is that the same as 52 over 20.8? Yep, they both give you 2.5. Okay. So this next one, all three of the lines are parallel. So we can set up a ratio between our sides. So I can say 30 over 12 is equal to x over 14. So then I'm going to cross multiply, and I get 12x equals 420. And I'm going to divide both sides by 12 to get x alone, and I get x equals 35. Okay. Next one. These three lines are parallel. I have both these segments labeled, but I don't have these both labeled. If the total is 32 and this piece is 18, that means this piece right here is 14, because 32 minus 18 is 14. So I'm going to set up my ratio. Okay, so 27 over x is equal to 18 over 14. Okay, I'm going to cross multiply, and I get 18x equals 27 times 14 is 378. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 18. And I get x equals 21. Okay, so we're doing a lot of repetition here. Okay, so again, all three of my lines are parallel. Both these are labeled, so I need to figure out this piece. So 92 minus 28 is 64. So this segment is 64. So I'm going to set up my proportion. 28 over 64 is equal to 31.5 over x. So I'm going to cross multiply. 28x equals 2016. And I'm going to divide by 28. And I get x equals 72. Okay, we have two more. Okay, all my sides are labeled, so we are good. All three of my lines are parallel to each other. So I'm going to do 24 over 18 is equal to 3x plus 1 over 12. So then we're going to cross multiply. Again, when you have multiple terms, make sure that you put the 3x plus 1 in parentheses. And when I do 24 times 12, I get, what's 24 times 12? And I get 280. So then I'm going to distribute my 18. And 18 times 3 is 54x plus 18 equals 280. I'm going to move my 18 over, and I get 54x equals 262. And then 262 divided by 54. And I made a mistake somewhere. Where did we make our mistake? 24 times 12 is, 288. Sorry, 288. So then 288 minus 18 is just 270. Sorry about that, guys. 270. And then when I divide both sides by 54, 270 divided by 54, and I get x is 5. Okay, last one. Okay, I'm going to set up my proportion. 2x plus 2 over 21 equals x plus 3 over 12. And I'm going to cross multiply. So 21 times x plus 3 is equal to 12 times 2x plus 2. I'm going to distribute, and I get 21x plus 63 equals 24x plus 24. Running out of room a little bit. I'm going to move my 21 over, and I get 3x. I'm going to move my 24 over, and I get 39. And then divide both sides by 3, and we get x is 13. Okay, so that's the first part of today's lesson. You're going to need to click on the next video for the second page. Reach out to myself or Ms. Cerna if you have any questions. Thank you.